Hello everyone, it's Veronica and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a historical fiction books recommendations. These are 5 of my favorite historical fictions of all times, and I read these multiple times. I don't know what it was about these books when I was a lot younger, but I still love these to this very day, and I don't know what it is about these books, but I continue to reread them and they were so enjoyable. So I'm here to talk about these things and share my love for these books with you guys. The first book I'm going to talk about is an all-time favorite, Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie, and I loved this book. I got it a while back and the movie came out and I wanted to read the movie. I wanted to read the movie? Yes, that makes sense. I wanted to read the book first and then dive into the movie, and no regrets. I love this book and I liked the movie too. It was such a good movie. It's obviously from the title, it's a murder that happens on an express train that does still exist in Europe, and our main detective, he is trying to find out who specifically did the murder. It's so good. I really enjoyed it. I love a good mystery story, especially when it comes to finding out a murder. I think those are probably one of my favorite movies and favorite just TV shows, movies, books. I love a good murder mystery in them. So this I gave, I think, 5 stars. To this day I would still give this a 5 because of how much I love it. I really want to do more Agatha Christie books because this is the only Agatha Christie I've read so far, but I think it's time for me to dive into more Agatha Christie's. I went to the bookstore recently and saw some of her books there and I was thinking about it, but it's not on my wish list, so I didn't get it. But if you guys have not read this book yet, I would totally recommend it. It's one of my favorites. If you haven't read or watched the movies, please do. It's amazing. I think just the adaptation from book to movie was actually pretty good considering the number of other book to movie adaptations out there, so I really enjoyed this one. The next book is something that dives into the deep past, and this was one of my favorites. It's so old and disgusting looking, but it's still one of my favorite books. The second book is Constantinople, 1453, A Place Called Armageddon by Humphreys, and it is so good. I am such a huge fan of like ancient history and kind of just diving deep into the Greek and Roman times, ancient times, and so I was a huge fan when I got this. I got this so long ago and it's incredible. I think this came out in 2011, and yeah, I think I got this in 2015. So you can just see how long I have had this copy for, and it's just filthy disgusting. But I still love it. It's so good. I really enjoyed it. I'm a huge fan, and this is sad, but I'm a huge fan of just reading about war and just the bloodshed and the gory. I love it. War is such a sad story to tell, but I think that's one of my favorites just genres in historical fictions and just in books in general. So I really enjoyed Constantinople. I really enjoyed reading the battles and the tough times within the book. I think was so good, and I really enjoyed all of the little details that you really had to read and just the backstories behind each of the characters. I haven't reread it in a long time, but I think I'm gonna do like a historical fiction time, and I'm so excited to just reread it again. I was such a huge fan when I first read it, and I think you guys will too. So book 3 is something I got I got this book in 2011. What the heck? And this book came out in 2010, and it is Revolution by Jennifer Donnelly, and I was such a huge fan when I got this. I really enjoyed it. It's all about the French Revolution, and it's about this girl who finds a diary of a girl named, so our main character Andy finds a diary of a girl named Alexandrine Paradis who lived through the French Revolution, and it's so good. It feels like a time travel book because you're, being transported to the French Revolution. Something about it, when I first read it, it was so good. I really enjoyed it, and I think one of the things I really liked about it was about the French Revolution, and I feel like you don't really get a lot of French Revolution stories enough, and even I haven't read that much. This is probably my first French Revolution story I've ever read. This also has like a mystery kind of aspect to it, which I really enjoyed. You really get transported into Alexandrine's life in the French Revolution through reading her diary, and I really enjoyed this story. Book 4 is another major motion picture. This book is In the Heart of the Sea by Nathaniel Philbrick. In the Heart of the Sea was so good. I really enjoyed it. I also really enjoyed the movie. It's really intense. It's got just... I really liked it. It's set in 1819, and it talks about a whaling ship from Nantucket, and I thought just the story behind it was so powerful. You can really see the details of each, just the problems behind it. I was just really interested in reading, and I really liked this because it talks about surviving. They get attacked by a whale, and they're stranded, just kind of floating in the middle of the ocean, and it really talks about their stories and how they had to fight to survive in the middle of the ocean. Wow, this story I really enjoyed, and I think you guys would enjoy this too. The movie as well. And now the last and 5th book is something I feel like I got recently, and I say this for all the books. The Secret River by Grenville, and it's about a man named William Thornhill who gets sentenced and deported from London, I think, in 1806, and he moves to a colony which later becomes Australia. And I loved this. It tells about how William Thornhill and his wife Sal really struggled through adapting to living in just an empty plot of land and having to survive on their own and building from literally the ground to their own house. And talks about their struggles with being friends with the natives on Australia, which becomes Australia, and I loved it. It was such a powerful book, and I feel like I learned a lot. Even though this is a fiction story, I never read enough of these types of stories, so I really enjoyed this. Alright guys, that is it for my 5 historical fiction recommendations. I really enjoy all of these books, and I think you guys would love it too if you also enjoy historical fiction. I really enjoy all of these books. They were one of my favorite books for historical fiction. I feel like I want to reread these, honestly. I had such a fun time doing this video because it brought me back to when I was a lot younger and just reading all these books and just really enjoying it. Thank you guys so much for coming. I really did enjoy doing this video and talking about historical fiction because they're my favorite. So thank you guys so much for coming. If you guys want to read any of these books, comment that down below. I want to hear if you guys want to read this, or if you've read any or even watched any, like the In the Heart of the Sea or Murder on the Orient Express. If you guys watched it, what did you guys think? I would love to hear all your thoughts down below, and give this video a thumbs up and hit that red subscribe button for more book content. Thank you guys so much for coming, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!